Good morning, everyone. It's Vec Hill here with another episode. Today, I want to talk about the way I look at money. Being 24 years old and living in Seattle, Washington, you see a lot of people my age or a couple years older that are working in these corporate jobs and are living this quote unquote American dream that I always thought was the correct way of living. I myself, being part of the corporate world, I saw that it really redefined how I look at money, I guess, is the way I want to talk about this video. It defined how I look at working for money. It really redefined what it means to become an adult, honestly, and how you want to define your life. Being in the corporate world showed me that it's not necessarily always about what you know, how hard you work, and what you have to do with the politics and all the side things to truly become a good employee. It really defined what it means to be an employee and what mentality that is. And also, it showed me what it means to work for money and also spending it in a way that at the end of the day, you end up with too many experiences or material things that you either never dreamed of having before, or you do so much of it that you become desensitized to the whole experience, and you're only doing it to keep yourself motivated to go to work at 8 a.m. in the morning to do what you have to do in your job. It also explained to me what it means to have a job instead of working. And lastly, it really showed me what it means to what this whole system means. It really defined to me what everyone that I made fun of internally, I really was like, what do you mean? Like, you really think this system is broken? You really think this is a game? Like, the system is perfect, right? And the way it's designed, well, I still think the system is perfect the way it's designed. But is it perfect for us living in it, in the system? And my answer is no. The way a lot of people live is they get up at 8 a.m. Well, they have to be at work at 8 a.m. So they get up at 6:30. They get ready. They go to work, and they have to physically put in 9 to 10 hours, sometimes even more, physically sitting down inside of a building, inside of a cubicle, and actually pretending to work for 9-10 hours a day, because I can guarantee you no one's really working 9 to 10 hours a day, like working. So most of the time you're really trying to show the rest of the group that you're needed in that office and that you're not an extra and you shouldn't get laid off because it's not an extra position and you're adding value and stuff like that. But most of the time your added value isn't even appreciated that much. You're pretty much expected to come in, do what you're expected to do, and do it well over and over again. And there really isn't extra time for extra things. If you want to do extra things, you have to stay longer, and you won't get paid for that. And which is great. These things are all humbling things that you get up and show the next interviewer, like, oh, like I didn't need to, but I stayed longer. I put in all these hours on Saturday, Sunday, and no one actually cares at the original job that you're at, and you're only doing it to impress the second group. So you're always working to impress another individual, whether you like that individual or not. So that's the number one strike for me is it's really exhausting to always in our lives trying to impress other people, and we've done it for so many years. When you go from first grade to 12th grade, you're impressing your teachers, you're impressing your parents, you're impressing coaches, you're impressing universities. When you're in college, you're impressing advisors, you're impressing your professors, you're impressing significant others that you want them to be significant others, I guess, opposite sex, or whoever you're attracted to. You're impressing employers, you're impressing, again, coaches if you're going into sports. You're always impressing people, and then that creates a perfect employee. So when you graduate and you look for a job, you basically do the same mindset. You're trying to impress people, you're trying to impress your boss, you're trying to impress your mentor, you're trying to impress VC investors, you're trying to impress a lot of different people, which is also, again, great. You're always trying to impress people. I'm trying to impress viewers to watch these videos. I mean, I'm very new. I probably don't have any viewers on my videos yet, but these videos will come up hopefully at some point, because I'm not trying to BS anyone. I don't even know how to make money off of YouTube. I really just want to tell you guys what the truth is. And the way I look at money is, you either work for money or you work doing something you love and money comes with it later on. Working for money, I love money so much that I understand it. A lot of people are like, oh, well, you don't like money, you don't understand it, you don't want to be rich. Well, I really want to be rich. I love money, but the way I look at it, what you have to do for money, to obtain money, to grow your money, there's different ways of doing it. And I love money so much, I think about it so much, that I've just created these completely different definitions for what it means to make money. The way I look at money is, they're freedom units, basically. Let's look at it that way. Money buys you your freedom back, basically. The way I look at it is, if you have a large sum of it, you buy yourself time, and you buy yourself your life that you lost doing things that you didn't like. Let's say you work 8 hours and you make $200 for those 8 hours. Those $200 is your freedom, because you put in the time and effort to make that $200, whether you earned it or not by putting in the work. If you're getting paycheck, you might not earn it, you just get it. You just get it deposited into your bank account, whether you put in the actual work or not. But a lot of people make these freedom units, and they go and spend it on things that does not bring them more freedom, but only very short-term gratification, very short-term happiness. And I don't even want to call it happiness, it's just short-term ego booster, which, again, it doesn't bring happiness. You're always trying to boost your ego, and if you're always trying to boost your ego, there's never a point where you're satisfied with your ego. There's never a point where you can just stop. You're always going to just grow your ego, and you turn into this person that no one likes. Just no one likes. Everyone reads through BS. A lot of people read through BS and they still go with it, and they never call it out. They really go with it all the time, and they even make a bigger deal of the person that has a bigger ego than they need to, because they're like, they hang around them, they hang out with them mostly for the money and their influence, not for themselves personally, but they just do it, and that's how they keep the cycle going. There is demand for those type of people, and the supply is there as much as you want. There's an unlimited supply of douchebags and people with big egos. So if there's demand, you just flourish those supplies. There's also another way of being humble and not caring about showing off to other people, and not caring about what money truly buys you, but looking at money as how it enables you to do the things that you want to do. You can use your money to invest. You can use your money to do the things that you love. But if you're working at a job that you don't like, and if you're working for money, you make this money and you have to buy things to make yourself happy, because you know very soon you have to go back into work. You know very soon it's 8 a.m. and you have to go back into that building. Whereas if you truly like what you do, and if you truly like the work that you do, you don't even think about it as work. You don't think about it as a job. It's just something you do because you're good at it, because you care about it, and because you think you're making a difference. I'm doing these YouTube videos not because I think I'm going to get rich off of them, not because I think I'm going to be popular, but I think there's going to be 5, 10, 20 people out there that will stumble upon this video, that will watch for 10 minutes. We all spend so much time watching YouTube videos of different people. This could be another video that you tag along, learn something, feel good about it, and continue really going with your path, and not how do I want to say it? Not doubting yourself. A lot of people lose confidence in themselves because they think they're a failure, because they're not going with conventional wisdom, they're not working a 9 to 5, they didn't do the basic steps that their parents wanted them to take, and that could equal to being a failure in some people's minds. But it's not. It really isn't. You're doing you. You're trying to keep yourself happy. You're trying to find what you're on this earth for. If we all just go to our jobs, we're just creating robots that collect money and spend money. You become an escrow account. Basically, how I look at it is, you become this middleman bank account where you hold the money from that company you're working for, and you hold it for the company that is selling you things, whether you need it or not. So you become an escrow account, and that's modern day slavery. That's honestly, it stresses me out so much, because you're giving up your life, the time that you have to be happy and to be healthy and to cook and to eat good and to work out and to do the things you love. You're giving up that time to go into this office to put in work that may or may not matter in this world at all. You collect this money and then you go and buy things you don't need because you have to keep yourself happy, or else you just be miserable for going into work. You have to buy this expensive wine to keep yourself happy to go to work. You have to buy these nice shoes to impress people you don't care about because you have to wake up to go to work. This is just not a good cycle, and we're all in this cycle for some reason, and it's kind of miserable. I've gone off tangent, and that's how I like to go, because if it's scripted, I will leave things out. But if I keep going, and hopefully you like this method for me to go, it may be sporadical, but I just get points out there, and I'm just talking to you like a friend. I'm not a teleprompter. There's nothing in front of me. There's just a camera. I thought about the topic. I think about these topics all the time, but I don't necessarily type them out. I just really want to talk to you guys, because I see a lot of people going down these rabbit holes that they're not happy. They're not happy. They are not contributing to society in a good manner. They're turning into people they're not. Even if you're making $150,000 and you work in a pretty nice suit and tie work, if you're turning into a douchebag, I don't respect you. I really don't. And whether you care about my respect or not doesn't matter, because I don't care about your respect. And neither should you. I'm just saying, I don't want to be like you. You're turning into this person you're not. You turn into this person that forces themselves to hang out with these types of people, and you're turning yourself into those types of people, which is great. That means humans are adaptive. Humans can become the type of peoples that they hang out, the type of people that they hang out with. If you're hanging out with 5 people, you basically turn out to be the average of those 5 people. But it depends on what qualities you get from people, right? For me, I get the good people things out of people. I get the good effort into things, being a nice person, being generous, being a helping hand. I get those qualities out of everyone. I don't get the negative qualities out of everyone. Let's say if I hung out with 4, I was the 5th person, and I hung out with 4 completely random homeless people out there. I think I would find really good qualities out of all 4 of them, because there is a potential in everyone, and we should use them in a manner where it keeps us happy. I can get those positive qualities, and hopefully I can give back some positive qualities. I think everyone needs help, and everyone deserves to become friends with everyone. I think there's good in everyone. There's positive qualities and positive potential in literally every single human being that could be put to good use. And we just like to not dive deep into our potential. We just like to slap on a band-aid on the issue real quick and fix everything. What is the band-aid? Band-aid is money, and that goes on top of all of our issues. So we buy wine, we buy expensive food, expensive clothes to keep ourselves happy. Same with our healthcare system. Oh, my back hurts. Well, instead of I don't know why I just rubbed my chest for my back, but my back hurts. Instead of going to the deep root of your back issues, I'll prescribe you this pill. Fix it. oh, your skin has a rash, instead of really finding out the core issue of what are you eating, what are you using, what kind of sprays are you using, or anything that could be that has chemicals that could be bothering your skin. Instead of figuring out the deep root, because finding out the deep root means you not buying those things, which is a bad thing for capitalism. Instead, I'll sell you more things. So you keep the capitalism thing going. It's a ridiculous cycle. I'll give you this pomade, you put it on yourself, and it'll dampen it. We're not solving the problem, we're just temporarily putting it down. You know, that goes with everything in our society. And on the surface, it looks like our society is very advanced, which it is materialistically, but when it comes to the human aspect of it, when it comes to really finding the right solution for every problem, we're not that advanced, because we don't have the time, because we don't care, because there's no incentive to care. There's incentive to being fast, to selling the most, whether people need it or not, and that's ridiculous. How does this tie into money? Well, please look at money in a way that buys you your freedom, buys you the ability to do things, buys you the ability to show off the world your true potential. You know, don't look at the world as this place where you have to do a job, collect the money, and buy the things you don't need to show off to people you don't care about. You know, two people we're showing off things to. Either people we don't care about and that we don't even know. We post things on social media, or it's our friends and family. Well, that's kind of a douchebag move to, you know, show off in front of your family and friends, right? Especially if they don't have the nice things. Why would you show off? You live with these people, you grow up with these people, they gave you the best that they had. Now you're just showing off, you're not helping them. You come in with your nice car, with your nice watch, you're a douchebag when you're hanging out with them. You eat your food real quick, you run out, you spend 5 minutes with them because you're too cool, too important to hang out with your family. You're too important to hang out with your old friends. You're too important because you have these new friends that are also douchebags just like yourself, but you don't have enough time for your old friends. You know, that's not good. So look at money in a different way. Please look at life in a different way. It's really disheartening and really depressing to look at our society in this way, and it is what it is. Our society is moving towards this direction, and I can guarantee you it'll keep getting more materialistic as we move forward. But this is the right time to step back and look at your life and say, what's important here? If you don't step back and ask that question, which I understand, a lot of us are so busy and our minds are so cluttered and so tired that we don't even want to think about what it means to live. You know, we don't even want to ask that question because we just want to focus on the job. We don't want any distractions. Just do the job for 40 years and make a lot of money. And when you're 65, you're happy, right? When you're 65, you'll get to buy your happiness. That's great at 65. Wow. And then we also just buy a house that we don't need. We buy a car we don't need. We get into debt for things we don't need. And that, at the end of the day, that becomes your second boss, maybe sometimes even your first boss. So not only you have your supervisor and your boss at work, but you have the bank, you have the car company, you have all these people on your tail making sure you pay your stuff, because if you don't pay, you lose it. And you have this stress that, oh my God, I need to go to work, I need to do this so I can get the money to pay off, to keep buying these houses. And people don't even pay off their houses, they make it bigger, they just always upsize, and you never end up owning anything. You're always a slave to the system, and you're always sad, because at 65 you'll be happy, right? Yeah, no. Please look at money in a different way. Please look at life in a different way. If you want to talk about this more, please leave a comment, message me. I'm really here to just have a conversation with you guys, to really show you what life really means. Again, it disheartens me to see everyone in the world, my parents, my sister, my friends, my coworkers, everyone is in this materialistic, mindset. And I like nice things. I have an iPhone. I have a watch. I'm not saying deprive yourself from things that bring a good use to your life and enhances your life, but things that don't enhance your life and there's just for showing off, I feel bad for you if you do those things. And I feel bad for the life that you spent to attain that, and I really feel bad for everyone else that thinks you're cool for doing those things. Anyways, thanks for stopping by. I will catch you in the next video. I really wish you a lifelong of happiness, prosperity, and minimalism, simplicity, and enjoying life to the fullest, not working yourself off to the fullest. Thank you.